All right. Welcome. Welcome. We're here. We're live. We're ready. And we're streaming. Is this live? It is live. All right. So, welcome back. Welcome back to Gaunt. It's been a little bit. We've been busy boys over here. And it's all right. We're back. This is live. Yes, it is. Live recording in front of in front of a live studio audience. Gaunt Gold is recorded live in front of a studio audience. You're the studio audience, so make sure that when I say something funny, you have to laugh. It's for the laugh track. If you don't laugh, we will throw you out. But welcome anyway. Thank you, Blue, for the 31 months, 23-month streak. That's crazy, Blue. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. You're John Nightrain. Yes, you are. Session 23. Session 23. It's been 23 sessions already. I need you guys to know that Gaunt Gold in my notebook, in my digital notebook, is under the section short story.
What happened to that?
Try to make it long.
You gave us side quests.
Listen,
Sorry.
It's true.
Well, it started as what was gonna be a pretty short campaign, like sub 10, and then I just kept having ideas. So it turned into a full campaign. But every time
just likes us.
Every time I flip back to that note, it makes me chuckle a little bit that it's in the short story section. Which actually, to be entirely honest with you, that is actually the fate of every other story that's also in the short story section. So
You gotta eliminate that section, I feel.
yeah, that's a dangerous section. I gotta rename it. But anyways, we're here. So we're all ready. We can get right into it. Chad, if you notice that I'm not looking at you as much today, it's because I slept really bad on my neck and my bones are very stiff. So if I don't look at you, Chad, it's because I can't turn my head that direction.
It happened.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll you know what? I'll still swivel just for you, Chad. That's how much I love you.
Aww.
We'll take it all in stride, and I'll still swivel. All right. So previously on Gaunt Gold, the party, who are on their way, planning a heist, a very risky heist, planning to rob a sketchy noblewoman by the name of Lady Gwendolyn Gaunt. And to do so, they've got to break into the most secure bank in all the realm, Evermore Bank and Holdings. Now, it's been a long process, 23 sessions worth of scoping out the bank, and probably another 23 sessions of continuing to scope out the bank, and then just one session of a bank robbery. Anyway, no, the bank robbery will be longer than that. I know for sure.
Ah, that's scary.
Wait, oh yeah, no, that is actually scary.
You know for sure, do you?
There's not a chance we'll ever get that done in one session. You guys know I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. If we have to split
That's
up for
true.
some reason. Yeah.
So, in the process of scoping out the bank, scanning for allies, for resources, for any sort of security measures they might need to bypass, the party have gotten themselves roped up into a few, one might say, side quests, and have been doing some work for some other people in order to secure said allies, said resources, and said supplies for their heist. One of those side quests was the investigation of a blackmail scheme. A mysterious, anonymous person was blackmailing the local church, threatening to reveal the source of a rather sizable donation they'd gotten recently that they needed to repair after some damage was done to the church in a fire. Said donation had been some might call it blood gold from a pirate, and the anonymous person was threatening to reveal that to the general public and cause some PR issues for an already struggling church. And so the party agreed to investigate the source of the blackmailing, which they managed to narrow down to the seedier district of town, the Wash, where they managed to track it all the way down to a tavern, a floating pirate ship that had turned tavern after it was permanently moored in the docks. And so they planned a little B&E, a little nighttime jaunt into the tavern to investigate why some meetings were going down late at night there. And after successfully bypassing the rather hefty, trollish bodyguard out front, they made their way downstairs and found that there was some sort of illicit operation going on. Some sort of alchemy was occurring in the basement of this ship. And after peering inside the door, one of the party members made a startling discovery. They actually recognized the pirates who were taking part in this illicit operation. But I don't think we went too deep into that, so we'll just leave it as vague as that. And so after plotting a scheme in which they pretend to be a ghost from those pirates' past, they, half succeeded in startling the pirates, but quickly launched into a combat encounter as the rest of the party crashed through the door. And so we left off with the very beginning of that combat encounter, and that's where we'll return. So, welcome everybody, and let's get right into it, shall we?
I tried my best, guys. It was almost a great.
It almost worked.
It would have worked.
I had faith in you.
It was really close. It was really close.
If it was any other group of people, I think it would have worked really well. But
For you dastardly kids, I would have got away with it.
yeah, dastardly DM.
Whoops. All right, let's get started.
Whoops, it is.
Let's move over. Let's move over here, shall we? Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right, so let's get rid of the cozy music and let's get some fight song. Now I believe we still have all those rolls saved, so I don't have to do it again. Let's take a peek. Yes, we do. Ah, yes. Anthena and Sarisa at the bottom of the turn order. Because they came in a little late.
Nice.
This is Anthena, by the way. Just in disguise.
Yes,
For those
I'm
who
in a
missed
different
last
art style.
session.
Did you say you're in a different art style?
Yeah, that's how you really disguise yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
So, to set the scene, the disguised Anthena had walked into this room attempting to startle the pirates inside, but had received a rather bad startle herself as she recognized them, and quickly, losing a little bit of heart, she retreated back outside the door. Noticing that Anthena looked a little rattled, like she'd just seen a ghost, the rest of you quickly rallied to her side and smashed in through the door, ready to take on these ghosts from Anthena's past head on. And they themselves were readied as soon as they saw what they thought was a ghost, immediately retreat. They had no clue what was going on, but they were sure as hell going to be armed to the teeth to deal with it. And so you had noticed them seemingly facing this door for a second when you walked in, but they readied their weapons, and we are about to fight. First to act as you charge in through the door is actually Leah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. We are, from Anthena's reaction, it's very much a shoot first, ask questions later situation. I'm wagering.
If you recall, Kegox asked Anthena friend or foe. She said foe.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
yeah, and she's now kind of stormed in here with her sword drawn, so that's
Okay.
that's the way she's going about it anyway.
In that case, Leah will be casting Ice Knife, the 3rd level, at the lady right here.
The beautiful woman.
Yeah, the beautiful woman. Sorry,
Going
Queen.
after the
So on,
women
guys.
first.
Yeah, I'm a misogynist.
Shameful.
Sorry.
Women and children
Shameful.
first. Women and children first.
Yeah, women's children
First
first.
on the hit list.
All right, so I roll to hit. It is a 15 to hit.
Alright, and I will roll her save. I believe the fella here should be rolling a save too, right?
Yes, it's a 5-foot.
She saves it.
Okay.
He does not.
Okay, so let me roll.
Yeah, roll your full damage.
Okay. Did that hit her? Did a 15 hit her for the piercing?
Yes.
Okay, so let me roll my piercing. It is. Why did I roll a bunch of other dice with that? I guess I rolled the full damage then. Yeah, 10 piercing and then I guess 16 cold. So if he failed, then does he take the 16 cold? Question?
Yeah, because he's getting hit by the blast, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the second part's the blast.
It's a
Okay.
damn good spell.
That's yeah.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you,
right?
when you upcast it like that, it does really good against groups.
When can I get ice knife? Okay.
Ice
Classic
is
bard spell,
mine.
ice knife.
Yeah, classic. Get you a spell scroll somewhere. Then I guess, yeah, since she failed the piercing for her and then this cold for him.
No.
I think that's it, actually.
All right, time to
Kinda
dig in.
move, right?
So yeah,
Fine.
you see that on the far end of the room, there's just a grenade of ice that goes off, and it just scatters across the room. You see shards of ice embedded into the walls, and the floor is all made of wood. And a couple of them lodge into these too. And you can see some blood just kind of scatter across the far side of the room, Leo.
Nice.
Is that anything else? You ending your turn there?
Actually, Leo's gonna move right here, and then, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Next to act will be this fella. He's gonna make his way here. We'll put him here. And he's going to grab something from that crate there. Let's see what he gets. 3. Okay, 3 is okay. Range wise, let's see how we're doing. Oh, beautiful.
This doesn't sound good.
I don't like this.
I'm a little scared right
Oh, it's a fucking potion or some shit.
Lovely.
now.
So he grabs a little bottle that has a soft green glow in it, and he just
Oh, fuck.
hefts it at you across the room. Is going to hit. Right. Oh, should be a no snap. Here we go. Beautiful. Can everybody make some dex saves for me?
Doesn't look beautiful to me.
Is Leah in this?
No, you're
Or okay.
No, you're good.
Jesus Christ.
God, I moved.
Oh, it's
Oh,
a bad
nothing gone
start
up.
for me.
Is it this one? I'm good at
there should
D&D,
be
but-
should be a little box on the left side that has all your saves, I guess. So
Yeah, so saving throws?
yes,
Nice.
dexterity save.
Yes.
Would I have advantage on this one because I have advantage on dex effects that I can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated?
Go
Yeah, as long as
through?
that's not attached to your rage, then you're good.
Yep.
Did that not go through?
Didn't go through on my end.
Yeah,
Alright.
saw it on
Seven.
D&D Beyond, but I didn't see it
Uh,
in.
That's a fail either way.
Yeah.
So unfortunate.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the
Uh,
plugins. I can
Yeah,
find.
try opening Beyond 20, the plugin, and see if it needs an update.
Yeah, okay. But I rolled a 17.
Okay, that's
So
a save.
okay.
So that is going to be 10 acid for you two, as the for the two who failed, and only 5 for Sarisa.
Oh.
We're off to a great start, guys.
As he
Well, I-
hefts that bottle across the room, it smashes at your feet, and a splash of acid goes everywhere, and you get some droplets on your skin. The two of them get the worst of it. Sarisa, you hide behind them, and only get a couple drops on your skin.
Yeah, that sounds about right for her.
But that's
Cannon.
all. That's all he can do during his turn.
Oh, I have a question. One of my species traits is poisonous nature. Does that do anything here or no? I just want to double check.
Specifically, acid damage.
Okay. Okay, I just
but-
wanted to make sure.
But if you chug a bottle of poison, I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. Thank you. How much was that? I forgot the number.
Just so you know, if you did have an acid resistance in the top right of your character sheet, like near your health, there'd be resistance there.
Oh, yeah, there's a little poison one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're resistant to poison damage. So if somebody poisoned your drink, you take half
Oh.
damage from that, right?
Ooh.
But that was specifically
like that
acid damage, which is
foreshadowing.
distinct.
Okay. And that's 5 damage, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If somebody poisoned your drink, Grant says as he furiously jots that down in the notes.
sorry. When somebody poisons your drink.
Yeah, right.
When? Yeah.
Happen.
When? Not again. Not poison drinks again.
But anyways, that's all he can do. So we're moving to the next person's turn, which is this lady. And she is going to kind of move a little laterally across the room, and she levels a crossbow at you guys. I'd say between Kegox and Sarisa, you guys are about even targets. So I'm just gonna odds and evens it. We'll see who she aims at. That's going to be Sarisa.
Oh, no, my baby!
That is a. That's actually insufficient to hit your armor class. So she fires a bolt at you, and it just glances off one of your bracelets and hits the wall instead. Lodges into the door behind you. So that'll bring us to Kegox's turn.
Okay, bonus action rage. I've been hit, I've been damaged, and my danger sense failed me. So I'd like to become large, please.
All right. I presume you mean larger this direction and not this direction. Pushing them
Yes,
back
yes,
to the
yes.
wall.
Larger in a direction that does not squish my teammates, even though someone here looks very different. No, I know that it's Anthony now. So I'm going to charge this guy with my reckless attack, and I'm going to attempt to smash him hard.
Yeah, you should be able to move this token.
Wow. Actually, can I move like here? Would that be all right? Or
As long as you got the movement for it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I do. Let me double
Yeah,
check my movement.
do the like movement highlight. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and you're good.
I do. I've got plenty of movement, so there I go. And actually, I'm going to, since I have multiple attacks, I'm going to put Both attacks. Can I reckless attack the guy who threw the vial of acid, and then secondary attack the other guy?
Yeah, you can split them up however you want.
Oh, okay, I'd like to do that, please. So reckless attack. This is advantage. 19 either way.
Yeah,
For
that's
the first guy. Okay. And then should I just roll to hit the other guy and then roll damage, or you want me to roll damage on the first guy first?
Let's do the first guy first, because that's how it would play out.
11 points of damage.
Yep.
And then I will attack the other guy. Since I'm attacking recklessly, that's only on the first attack, right? It's not going to be on the second one on this guy, or?
I believe so, unless it says it's for your turn.
Let's double check. When you make the first attack on the turn, okay, so it's just that one. So the other guy's getting... he's getting a 6. So I'm just swinging wildly. Content with the fact that I've collided with this guy. But this guy, I swing wide and just miss him entirely.
No.
And that's my turn.
Alright. Then that'll bring us to this fella here. Just noticed something. Got those in a row. There we go. That's better. Alright, that'll bring us to this fella's turn, who is kind of ducking and dodging to try to avoid this giant elephant that just ran up to him, and he's gonna swing with a saber at you. It is going to be an 18, which I believe hits you.
Yes.
For... what's your damage dice? Ah, perfect. Another 10 cut in half from your rage. So 5.
Okay, so 5. Okay, and I'm going to use my reaction for frigid retaliation. Creature hits me with an attack roll, deals damage. He's going to get blasted by some ice. He needs to make a Constitution save, DC 14.
Well, he rolled a 7, so he does not beat that.
Okay. So he's going to take 9 points of cold damage, and his speed is reduced to 0 until the end of his next turn, or till the end of its next turn.
All right, noted. Yeah, he slashes right into you, and you see this frostbite just kind of creep across his sword as it hits your skin, and it goes like all the way up one of his arms and down his legs. So he is frozen at the moment.
And I trumpet at him very, very intimidatingly. Toot, toot.
Noted.
All right, that's it.
All right, that will bring us to Anthena's turn.
Okay, quick question. From my in-character knowledge of these people, who would I know is like the leader or like of highest rank among them?
Among
I
Us.
figured. Just wanted to Among Us, yes. And then secondly, question, you said he's frozen right now. With that ability, does that break if he gets dealt damage to him, or?
No,
you can meta.
It's just like a. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so on a failed save, his speed is just reduced to 0 until the end of the next turn. So it does not break.
Okay, wonderful. Great, awesome. All right. In that case, I think I will. I'm gonna use a charge for Rosalia, and basically fly. We'll go with this guy because he's been throwing stuff and that hurt really bad. And I will make an attack against
You can
him.
go up on the table if you want.
Yeah? Okay. I didn't
don't
want to
be shy.
assume.
Table
Let's
fight.
go. Table fight! Okay, cool. Alright, and then I'll make an attack with Rosalia on him. Jesus. That's a 15.
Does hit?
Yay! Okay, so this is just the regular piercing, horrible roll. That's 5. But then on a hit with Rosalia, if I use, I can do a special attack, and I do a 1d6 poison damage. So do that.
Yeah, roll your full damage and then
okay.
let me know.
Yeah, so it was 5 piercing and then 4 poison.
All right. You fly across the room and stab straight into that pirate's chest, and he kind of looks a little stunned for a moment, not expecting that to happen. And you see those, you see kind of veins distend in his neck as your sword deals poison damage to him, and then he just collapses to the ground.
Oh. Oh. I was not expecting him to die so quickly. Damn it! I want to. Never mind. Okay.
I did hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, you did.
He did
For
get
sure.
blasted by ice, then smashed by a giant elephant, and then stabbed in the chest. So, I mean, all things speaking, he held out quite well.
Yeah, actually, he's actually pretty resilient. Okay. Alright. Yeah. In that case, I think Anthena, in disguise, kind of like. I don't think she was expecting, not that she didn't want to, but she was not expecting that to immediately kill him. So she's kind of like rears back a little bit, but will ready herself for the next round. And I do have Bardics. Yeah, I will go ahead and give a Bardic to Kagox.
Thank you.
So that's a D8 to whatever you want.
I don't believe anything you've done should get rid of your disguise, right? So you're all good?
No, I was checking. It's not
I
concentration.
figured you would have, yeah.
So, yes, yes.
Well, alright. If that's the end of your turn then, Anthena.
Yes, it is.
Then that will bring us to Sarisa. Sarisa, you're still at the door. There's a crossbow bolt lodged into it right by your head. What are you going to do?
Yep, so you guys be looking at that crossbow bolt. Or the crossbow. Yeah, I said that right.
Yep.
I know I did. She's kind of like got big old eyes, like scaredy eyes. Staring at that chick. She's not feeling so good, boys. Oh wait, actually, I had a question. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still having that? Oh gosh, pass without trace. Is that still? Or did I like drop that earlier?
Yeah, you all kind of stormed right in, so they're perfectly aware that you're here. So pass without trace won't help you guys.
Okay, so.
Unless you like ducked out of the room to hide, they're gonna know where you are.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know if I just like dropped the concentration on it or not. Because I kind of just remembered that was a thing.
Well, so pass without trace is purely helpful for stealth rolls, and while you're locked in combat right in front of people, you're not typically making stealth rolls unless you're actively trying to hide, right? So
yeah.
It's not going to benefit you much anyways, unless you were trying to hide from them.
Okay. I was just wondering if we're going to make too much noise for reasons, you know.
Fair enough.
But I'm not gonna say much more on that. I suppose in the heat of the moment, Teresa will drop concentration on Pass Without Trace while she's staring all scared at this chick, and she's going to use Hold Person on the 2nd level.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 60 feet. And she's gonna use it on eye patch here.
Alright. What kind of save is that again?
Wisdom? I think it said.
Alright. Rolling. Let me double check what her wisdom is. I don't know that it's crazy high.
Don't be smart, please.
Not that high.
Be stupid, be stupid, be
But
stupid.
she did roll a 17.
Dang it.
So she ends up with an 18 total, which I assume beats the save.
Yeah, because it has a 13.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, okay. Whoops. That's not good.
It happens. Not
That was
particularly
my...
wise, but she got very lucky there.
Dang it.
She clocked you were a cleric and she was like, I know what's coming next. They always cast that spell.
Dang it. Predicted. Oh, dang. I can't use that because it's an action. That's what Cerise is gonna do.
No. Then, at the end of the turn order, you guys all hear a kind of ka-thunk noise as a slot in that door slides open.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It was
and
too easy.
It's not an eyeball that appears in that slot or anything else that looks human. Instead, it is the half wood, half iron barrel of a rather large crossbow.
Oh, excuse me?
That's great. Love that.
So, you're in range of that.
I mean, who's really in range of anything? Isn't it
Yeah.
all just
Yeah, it's
subjective?
all it's subjective.
Which I believe.
You mean the room? You mean whoever's in the room?
I mean, whoever's in eyesight of the
Not
slot.
the fucking. Oh my god, those things. I mean, I'm on a table if that matters.
Yeah, you're still in eyesight of the slot,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
But look at the high production value here.
I
on the
love
Grand
that.
Orange
I love
Channel.
that.
Like, okay.
So, if you're in eye line of that, then you have basically like a half second of, oh, there's a barrel there, and then it immediately starts just churning out with a loud rattle, crossbow bolts as fast as a machine gun.
Not the marker.
Are you trying to TPK here? What is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, we went on too long. Didn't you hear the intro? He says, this is supposed to be a short game.
Not too long.
It's supposed to be sub 10.
So, everybody make 3 dex saves each.
What?
'Cause, these bolts are flying. He's just going across the whole room. So 3 each, please.
Would you say that I can see this?
You saw the barrel appear. You would get a bit of a cat's hair down your back sticking up,
Okay.
and you get advantage on all of them. Yeah.
Okay, hold on,
I'm
okay.
getting,
No,
I'm getting
no.
fucked over by these
You are a
guys.
very big target.
I am, but that doesn't mean I'm any like less dexterous to. I don't know. We're mostly gonna get hit anyway.
I'll let you have it.
Everything is so terrible. Digital dice hate me every
Oh,
single
these
time.
digital dice suck. Okay, so the first one's a 5.
Mint!
Anthony, did you make 3?
Yes.
Yes, you did. Okay.
Yeah. 10,
I'm gonna
13,
go through
7,
Anthena first.
Of course.
Yeah, actually, I should have had you guys each do it one at a time.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Fine.
10, 13,
No, that's
7.
my bad. I should have said something, especially because we were
Let's
gonna
do
have
all the
doubles from
dice.
Kegox. the bolts fly across the room like dice, and they will. Okay, starting from Anthena. That's only 1 save, so you're gonna take 2 shots.
Okay.
So that is a total of 7 piercing as 2 bolts hit you. Then we'll move on to Leah. 1, 2. That's 2 saves. So you'll take 1 shot. That's 4 piercing, Leah. And next to Sarisa. Your sting is working now. Another 2 saves, so that'll be 1 shot. That is very bad luck. That's 6 piercing, Sarisa.
Oh.
And Kegox. That's a whole mess. Let's see. Those first two, we're gonna call. The first 2 are the same roll. So you failed that first save. The second 2 are the next roll, save, and then save. So you take 1. So a bolt lodges in, but it just does 2 piercing. That's halved.
That's all. That's already halved.
Already halved, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So it just
What's
kind
everyone
of
at?
lodges in your shoulder, and you ignore it, Kegox.
I'm bad at math. Give me a second. Not bad, maybe? No, I'm bad at math. I've lost 11 hit points, and I have 22 left.
You have 22 left?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So as those bolts go flying, the 2 remaining pirates who anticipated this happening, and in fact you estimate that was probably what they were arranging when you walked in, they managed to dive out of the way. A couple errant bolts get lodged in that guy's corpse, but it's neither here nor there.
That's fun.
And as that fray, that spray of bullets stops, you hear this loud ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk as the person behind the door starts to reload. Back to the top of the turn order. Leah, it's your turn.
Right. Wonderful. Well, it's 30 feet. Right. Leah's gonna go hide in this corner. Can she still see? Actually, never mind. This guy is in her line of sight, I'm assuming, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Cool. She's gonna cast Frostbite on him, which is a Constitution saving throw of 14, please.
Well, he rolled a 16.
Damn it. Okay.
He's already pretty cold, so
Yeah.
he doesn't
All
notice.
right, well, that didn't do shit. That's it.
No.
My turn. That's my turn. Right. You know what? You win some, you lose others. It's fine.
Alright, that'll bring us past the deceased pirate and onto the lady pirate. I think she's gonna want nothing to do with that giant elephant. So she's going to bear down on our little cleric here.
Not my baby!
No!
She missed that first shot. She saw Sarisa like Wonder Woman deflect that first crossbow bolt with her bracelet and with her jewelry, and so she wants nothing to do with that crossbow anymore. So she's just gonna drop it as she's running and pull out her saber at her hip, and she's going to swipe at you, which is going to hit you with a 19 for 9 slashing.
Ooh.
And that'll be the end of her turn. Which will bring us to Kegox.
Reckless attack on that fella in front of me. And when his turn is over, he can start moving again. 21 or 22.
Mhm.
So 22.
You hit him.
10 points of damage.
All right. So yeah, you bludgeon him. He's not quite able to dodge the hit as his legs are still frozen solid to the ground. And he
So he's still up?
tries to kind of head slip it, but he just kind of gets clocked and reels a little bit. But the ice keeps him on his feet, so he's still standing there. Yeah.
Okay.
He's still
Okay.
up.
Second attack. 19.
19 also hits.
Take another 9 points of damage. I club him once, and then I'm gonna club him again.
All right. He takes another 9. He looks badly bloodied, just barely standing.
And can I shift over to here to stand in front of the door?
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to pivot. There's nothing stopping you.
Because my idea is if the guy behind the door decides to Gatling gun us again, I'd like to press myself up against the door.
Very well.
All right, that's my turn.
All right. That'll bring us to this guy here, who is going to slice at you, Kegox. He's going to hit you for 12 cut in half, 6 slashing.
Okay.
That'll be the end of his turn. So he's no longer frozen. And Ancina, it is now your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move here and just swing on this guy. Throw Azalea. Please hit, please. 17 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Be 11 damage.
All right. You can tell us how you kill that man then.
Yes!
He had 2
Okay.
hit points remaining.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I think after Anthena kind of gets him, I don't know, pinned somehow or gets, some sort of like really good angle on him, I think she will drop the disguise self.
Oh.
And yeah, my beloved token that I looked so hard for, you are beautiful, but yes. Now I'm in the same art style, guys. Look at that. And so I think she kind of knocks him to the ground the best of her ability and kind of stands over top of him with her sword drawn. We'll drop the disguise self and wait and see if there's any sort of recognition on his face or any sort of
you see
like,
his
surprise.
eyes go wide and his mouth hangs open. He's kind of covered in blood, bleeding from several large wounds on his head, and he's kind of shaking a little bit. He goes, "You."
Me. And she'll stab him.
All right, and he gurgles and coughs up more blood as your sword pierces his chest, and as you yank it back out again, he collapses to the floor.
Awesome. Hooray. I am going to upcast a healing word for myself. Awesome. Okay. And that will be my turn.
Well, that will bring us to Sarisa. Sarisa, I will say, across the room, very far away from everybody else, you and this woman here have just kind of watched all this happen together. And her eyes are now darting back and forth between you and the door. What do you do, Sarisa?
Uh-oh, I was worried about that. Ugh.
Cerisa, looking at the chick, and now looking at two dead bodies, looks back at the chick, and goes for another hold person.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
On
I
a
will roll again.
second level. Yeah, come on. Can I use lucky on this if I fail? Just wanna.
Let me see. Let me reread it. It's been a while since I read it. Whenever you.
I don't think so.
No, because it would be your saving
Yeah, I didn't
throw.
think so.
It's if an attack roll is made against you, you can re-roll that, but it's not for saving throws that
okay.
other people are making.
Okay,
But
okay.
she fails it anyway, so no me.
Got her.
So she is completely immobilized. She kind of freezes in place. What do you do?
So, Cerisa, I guess, has her like hands held out, concentrating on this old person. And I think that's all. That is all Cerisa thinks to do in that moment. All banged up, beat up. There's two dead bodies on the floor. And she just stares at this eye patch chick with big wide eyes.
Very well. Then that's all. That'll bring us to the end of the turn order. So,
Oh wait,
the slot is still open and the crossbow is pressed against it. Kagux, you wanted to step in the way of that?
Yeah, that's why I didn't use my reaction for my frigid retaliation. I want to use my reaction to throw myself up against it, and I'll soak all the damage if I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, the person behind the door is just gonna like to turn a phrase, just empty the mag into you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But that's what I wanted to happen.
He is gonna mag dump into you. Now, the way that I was doing this to peel back the curtain a little bit is that of the targets that were in there, the amount of shots were being split between them. Right?
Yes.
So you were sort of, by having more targets in the range, you were splitting the damage across those targets. So it was sort of a hidden stack marker. But you're going to just take all of them.
I will take all of them, voluntarily fail save.
They're all... yeah. You are standing in front of the door, so...
Mm-hmm. And I'm huge. I'm huge, I know.
Yeah, you were trying to get hit by them, so these are just all straight fail saves, so we're just going to roll them all in turn. And
okay.
we will cut them all in half still, because you're raging.
What do you have?
I
have 26.
Starting with the first burst of 3 shots. So I'm just going to do them by 3s, and we'll total them all.
Okay.
So that will be, the first one is a total of 5 for those 3 shots.
Okay.
Second burst is a total of 4. And then third is a total of 6 in the last burst. Or in the third burst, sorry. And now in the last burst is another 5.
Okay.
I am still standing.
Oh my god.
The rest of you just hear chunk from behind the room. And Kagux just takes every shot and doesn't even flinch.
Well, he might flinch. His skin is thick. His skin is thick, and you see like there's probably like a big area of just crossbow bolts stuck into his chest.
Yeah, your back is sort of a pincushion, but
no, I was like facing it. I was like, yeah.
Probably not wise, but go off.
Well, yeah. But no, I put myself up against it. You know, all these crossbow bolts.
Then your chest is a pincushion.
Yes.
Oh. No, okay, Gox.
And yeah, that's. I can't. Oh, okay. I said I used my reaction, so I'm not going to frigid retaliation. Okay, never mind. Continue.
That's the end of the turn order. You hear again from behind that door the whir of some sort of like iron mechanism as it begins to reload once more. Now, the rest of you all look around the room. 2 of the pirates are dead, and the 3rd one can't move. So, combat-wise, you guys aren't really in a turn order anymore. But you do still have that impending chunk reload behind the door. So, you guys can each take a turn to try to do something about that before it fires again.
Okay.
What order that is, I don't really care since you guys are.
I'm up on the door. I just want to like.
And since
slam
Teresa's
through it.
acting last anyways, and she's busy, I will allow the other 3 of you guys to try to figure out this problem here before it fires right into Kagax again.
Can we open the door?
As you examine the door, it's a pretty hefty looking door, the most secure you've come across so far. It does have a like keyhole beneath the handle, but none of you have tried to open the door, so hard to say. But
Okay, and then one other
Kagax,
question.
you're
In
included
like
in this, of the 3 of you, all 3 of you, you can all do something.
Okay.
In the slot that's like open, can we? I know the crossbow's in there, but could we see like a person or like a pair of hands or something?
It'd be a little hard to see from your angle, for sure, Anthena.
Okay.
Kagax, make an investigation for free.
For free? Okay, cool. Free checks. Let's go.
You were looking right at it when it was about to fire, so.
Okay. Let's see. It's not smell related, right? It's sight related.
I mean, I guess kind of.
If
You know what?
because
You know
I
what?
get advantage if it's smell.
You know what? Go for it.
Okay.
It's not super important anyway, so go for it.
All right. 13.
All right, with a 13, you saw the flash like right through that little slot. You saw like just the flash of a hand kind of grab, like a humanoid hand, grab a lever and like yank it back, almost like they were sliding a bolt into place right before it went off. So there's evidently somebody back there.
Okay. Since I'm up on the door, can I just try to like? I'm still raging. I was just damaged, so my rage isn't going to end unless I don't take damage. Can I break the door? I'd like to burst through the door.
Yeah, you can, as your action, you can attempt to bust down the door. It does look like a pretty hefty door. It's obviously like purposefully secured.
Okay.
But you can still attempt it, yeah.
Okay, so since I'm raging, I get advantage though.
Yep.
Let's see. It's 21 or 15. So I'll take the 21.
All right. With a 21, you kind of like grab almost like the edges of the door, and rather than trying to bust down the secured door, you just start to rip the door out of the wooden wall instead.
Yes.
Because where it's weakest isn't the secured door, it's the rather flimsy wood around it. So you just start to rip the whole door off. Now, 21 isn't quite enough to just do it in one fell swoop.
Okay.
Someone might have to help you with this.
Okay, but I get it. I get it going.
You start to rip it, and they can now see a crack in between. They can kind of like you start to pull it back, and it's like creaking. There's now like a maybe like a couple centimeter wide gap that someone can look through.
Okay.
As you're continuing, so we'll say that that's what you've done now, Kagax. You're pulling the door off. So we'll pull it to the other 2 to do something. You guys can decide who does something between the 2 of you, who goes first, whatever. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I have a question. I mean, I know we get one action, but would you?
Well, I'm giving you each turn, basically. So bonus
a
actions
turn,
and stuff, whatever.
okay. Bonus actions are okay. Cool.
Yeah,
All right,
movement,
because then
bonus actions,
I'm gonna.
whatever.
Okay, cool.
It's
Then I
basically
will.
We're doing like a loose turn order until he reaches the end of the turn order and fires again. That's what we're doing. I just don't care about what order you do it in because you're kind of out of combat right now.
I got you. Okay, all right. I am gonna healing word only 2nd level, but I'll 2nd level healing word Kgox. That's 8, which is something. Athena's kind of like standing over this guy, and she's got this like very weird expression on her face. But I think like after seeing those crossbow, I think she kind of like snaps out of it for a second and will, healing word Kgox, being a pincushion and all.
Thanks for getting me out of single digits.
You're welcome. Wish it was more, but I'm trying to save my last 3rd level just in case. So anyway, more on its way if you need it. And then, I would like to help with whatever's happening here.
Help me push, help me.
Yeah.
I'm just angry trumpeting.
Yeah, so
Anthea will
it's
help.
really up to you. Are you trying to just grab the edges of that broken chunk of wood and just yank too, trying to pull the whole door out of the seam there?
Yeah, or you said we could look through.
There is now a sort of crack all the way vertically up along the door, and so you could look through that or do something through that gap. It's a couple centimeters wide, so it's enough to slide something in there, shoot something through there, look through there, whatever, right?
Yeah, I think I'd like to look through there and see what I can see.
Okay.
I could get some sort of sword or dagger through there.
So you look through and you see I think it's on the map layer. See this.
Oh.
And change layer. There we go.
Ah!
You see working the sort of lever and pulley-like mechanisms of this rather hefty crossbow that's kind of almost fastened and braced into the door. You see a rather diminutive halfling pirate with a large mustache. You don't recognize him by eyesight.
Okay.
But he is rapidly and rather panickedly trying to reload that crossbow before the entire door gets ripped off the hinge.
Awesome.
So what do you do?
Can I stab him through the hole?
Yeah, stab his ass.
Yeah, we'll say if you stepped forward one, you'd be able to do it because we'll put him kind of here-ish, right? It's close enough.
Yeah. Okay. I will do that. Please hit, please. Fuck! That's so bad. Ugh. Never mind.
You try to stab at him through the door, but you can't quite reach.
That's okay.
So I believe other than movement, that's most of what you can do. So we can pass.
Can I kind of get back again against this wall, after I fail that?
Yeah, you still got your movement, so you can still move.
Yeah. I'll
so Leah, what would you like to do?
Well, I was gonna have her cast knock, but I don't know.
There's nothing to knock anymore.
Yeah, a door is rapidly being ripped off of its hinges, so
if I cast,
maybe not necessary.
Knock, will it whack Kgox in the face?
Probably.
Oh no.
Alex goes unconscious. He's dropped to 0 because of
literally.
the door.
Oh my god, no, I was literally sitting here and I was like, yeah, she's gonna cast knock, it'll be super useful, and then Kgox was like, I'm ripping the fucking door off, and I was like, okay. Change your plans. Change your plans. Hold on, I gotta read some... Okay, hypothetically, could I, so mage hand as a hand, is it corporeal or
I mean, it can carry stuff, so we can interact with things, yeah.
So hypothetically,
I basically give it the rough strength of you, essentially.
Okay, but
so we can pick stuff up, interact with levers, do little things like that.
So,
but it's not stronger
based on my knowledge of projectile weapons, If there's
Based on
something,
your knowledge of projectile weapons or Leah's
Me.
knowledge of projectile
Me.
weapons? Because those are two
Leah and
different things
also
here.
Leah. Leah and I's
Does Leah
knowledge
have a
is
lot
the
of
same.
did Leah
Yeah.
learn a lot about
Yeah.
projectile weapons during her time studying
Yeah.
bones and fish?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I would imagine.
Hypothetically.
I'll let you make like an investigation if you if you get yourself positioned so that you can see through the crack. I'll let you make an investigation for free, like Chaos did, to try to
move like here.
to try to figure out maybe some sort of way to sabotage the mechanism.
Yeah. Cause like I know, like me know, shit can't fire if you've got a hold on the bolt.
Yeah,
And
and
anything
I
that's
think it's
working
reasonable
here,
enough that anybody
like-
in this situation would go, is there, it looks like a complex contraption. Can I just rip some sort of like pulley out and break
Can
it?
I
You know?
stop it?
I think that's a
from-
reasonable enough thing. So yeah, make an investigation and we'll see how good you are at that.
Okay.
Otherwise, you snap off the little like
It's a
cool little flame
23.
decoration he's got on it.
That's a 23.
All right, well, yeah, with the 23, you actually see him grab part of it and start to move it, and so you estimate that like, if you were to just kind of twist that part off, he might not be able to fire it.
Cool. Yeah, can I cast Mage Hand and then use it to do that?
Yeah, go for it. Now you're not Ledger Domain or anything like that, so he can see this Mage Hand. So I'm gonna have you sleight of hand to try to do that while he tries to swat that away.
Okay,
We'll
can
say
I
that
use my
that's the thing.
inspiration to do
Yes,
that?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, just roll, see your result, and then if you want to re-roll, you can.
Okay. Oh, I forgot I could choose. So my first roll is a 10, so I will be using that inspiration. Rolling. That is a 18 for sleight of hand. Yeah.
All right, the 18 will succeed.
Yes.
So as he tries to swat this hand away like it's a fly or a gnat, you manage to just like sort of grab onto one of the chains and just like one of the chains that's in the mechanism around a pulley system and just sort of loop it off and then just pull back and you just take it back out with you out of the hole. And so it's now missing that chain that sort of does that rattling motion that creates the repeated shot. And you hear just like all sorts of pirate curses coming out of that door from your actions as he tries to salvage the situation.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Your bolt carrier is mine now. Sorry. You. I'll be taking that. I'm just gonna keep that. Also, I'm gonna pocket it.
It's a little greasy. It's oiled, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, Leah's pocketing it.
If that's all, Leah.
Yeah.
Okay, now Sarisa, technically you can still do something in between now and when that thing is fired. So if you would like to do anything, please let us know.
I'm a little too far away from the door.
Yeah, that's why I left you till last, but you still technically are able to do something, so you can move a little bit, you can do something if you want. But if you want to just kind of lock in and keep that person immobilized, then you can do so.
She's having Sarisa is currently having a stare down with the eye patch chick.
Respect.
Right.
One-eyed stare down, but sure.
Ooh. Oh wait, how hard is Sarisa? How cheese?
A little bit.
She's not look too good. Ooh. What do I want to do? I got ideas rattling my noggin. I think Sarisa, just in case, is going to cast Healing Word on herself. Yeah, it's only Healing Word.
Bro.
And maybe to kind of I don't know if this is gonna unnerve the chick as Cereza keeps eye contact. She's gonna start praying. Cereza's gonna start praying to her god as is Cereza's god. Ooh, what should she say? Something like, "Oh, Lady Fortuna, goddess of chance." Oh Jesus. Two souls have met their misfortune, and she's all shaking like a leaf as she keeps her locked eye contact with this chick. And now, as your humble servant, I ask that you spin the wheel for this poor soul in front of me.
Alright.
Damn. That's cold as hell.
Oh, and she's gonna heal herself. Oh wait, what does more? Healing words and cure wounds. Oh, cure wounds. I can't read. I'd like to cast cure wounds.
Alright, yeah. Heal yourself up.
That's a 4.
Oh.
Cerise is not in the right headspace right now.
Alright, patch up some of your wounds. She does get a roll to try to escape hold person, but she fell it. So I moved past it.
Nice.
Alright, so if that's all from Sarisa, then at the end of the turn order, this fellow will try to just squeeze the trigger on it anyway. And you just kind of hear from behind the door a ka-thunk, and nothing happens. And then,
Nice.
and then he kind of smacks the side of it a couple times with his hands, and he tries to pull the trigger 3 more times, and it just goes click, 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 click. And then there's another just long chain of expletives from behind the door. And then we'll say, Kigox, if you're still continuing to try to do that, then you just rip the door right off its hinges.
Okay, so in that, what I wanted to do was like, I want to use the door as kind of like a mouse trap, and I want to squash him with it.
Damn.
Okay, it's true.
Torture in this campaign.
We break his full auto, and then we...
Well, I'm raging. I don't think I'm thinking too clearly, and this guy's been
fair.
trying to hurt everybody. So
I'll give him a dex save to try to get it out of the way of that.
Okay.
He kind of rolled mid on it, so we'll say he starts to kind of back away as he sees this door buckle in towards him, but it collapses down and it pins one of his legs.
Okay. And I'm gonna put my full elephant weight down on it.
All right. He yelps in pain as you put your full elephant weight down on the door, and it cracks his leg a little bit.
Okay.
So you guys are out of the turn order now. He's immobilized. She's immobilized. So technically you have a minute before that spell runs out. So keep that in mind.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just
but
gonna move in
you're out
far
of the
enough to let everybody else get in behind me, but
Yeah.
I am gonna be like partially on top of him, like this.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna sneak in and kind of put my sword, at him.
So he was kind of like yelping, and he was pulling at his own leg, trying to yank it out from under the door. But as you sort of point your sword at his throat, he holds both hands up and kind of like leans away from it with his head a little bit. Sort of squints his eyes up at you. Hold on. I yield.
Who are you?
Who the bloody hell are you? That's what I want to know.
I'll be asking the questions. And she kind of
All right, I'll just get the elephant off my goddamn leg.
I don't
That
move.
if you answer my question.
All right, Captain Hanlon.
And are you the one blackmailing the church?
I will say, you do recognize that name, Anthena.
Oh,
You've never met the person in person, but you have heard the name get thrown around before. A relative name of renown amongst the pirate world. Not like top of the game, but sort of, respectable at least. Not in the sense that he was a good man, but in that he knew what he was doing. And you would know that your friend Lucian has worked with him several times in the past, though you've never personally met him.
Aha. Fucking snake! Alright. I think hearing that and remembering that all information, she'll message Kagox. Step on him harder.
Yes, and I would that be like an unarmed strike, like me just, or would it be an improvised weapon because the door is on him?
I mean, you don't really need to roll his legs pinned, so you can just keep hurting him if you want.
Oh, I intend to inflict pain.
Very well.
What do you want me to roll damage-wise?
I mean, you're not gonna kill the guy by stomping on his leg, so you don't really need to roll damage.
Okay, but no, I do it again to cause pain.
Yeah, he goes, oh, stop it, I already surrendered.
Are you the one blackmailing the church?
Yes, that was me, but that was my gold.
She kind of like looks at him a moment. Can I roll an insight check on him? I'm sure that's a lie, but like, does he believe that that's true? Does that make sense? Like,
You can insight.
I don't know. I feel like pirates have kind of blurred lines of like what's people's gold, you know?
Yeah, with a 15, he looks like he's in too much pain to really be like just selling his stories. So at the very least,
Okay.
he believes it.
All right. And how exactly is it your gold?
We were supposed to split it, and he gave it away.
Who is he? Say it.
Lucian, we were gonna split the gold, and before he delivered it, he just gave it away. It's mine. It's supposed to be mine.
Did you kill him?
Yeah. He's clearly in too much pain to respond at this point. He might black out if you keep pushing him.
I
Okay,
ease up a little.
Yeah, I put my hand on Kagox. But she puts her sword even closer to his throat. I asked you a question.
Listen, there was supposed to be it didn't pan out, all right? It didn't pan out properly. It all went to shit, okay? I don't know if I killed him.
Then who did?
I said, I don't know, all right? All I did was poison him a little bit.
Bro said what?
I didn't
Just
kill
a
him,
little
I
bit.
just poisoned him!
Just gave him a little bit of
I don't know if it
poison.
killed him, but the poison might have.
Yeah, I didn't do it. But the poison, on the other hand, could have been that.
If Anthena doesn't kill this guy, I'm gonna smash his head like a pumpkin.
Just trust me, that's
Respect.
my plan. I just need to know if there's any other information we want out of him. she kind of looks at him again and she's like, "And you did that over some gold?"
It was supposed to be mine.
If it was supposed to be yours.
He's the one who stole it from me first.
He didn't steal it. He gave it to a church. It's much better than what you were gonna do with it anyway.
Right, he gave it all away. For what? For nothing. It's not his to give away. Wasn't his choice.
It wasn't his choice to die either.
He doesn't really have much of an answer for that.
I think she kind of like stares at him really hard and is oscillating between the fact that she genuinely just wants to slit his throat right here, but also has a lot of questions. And so I think she'll just press on like just once more, and she's like, "What kind of poison was it? How did you do it?"
Get your elephant off my leg and I'll tell you the story.
Can I like kind of like slip behind him and have like my sword like at his throat, you know, like around him?
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
then-
guys have got him twice over, so he's not gonna get away.
Okay, that's just what I'm worried about. Okay, then I'll message Kigox.
He just wants to not be in extreme pain. That's all.
That's fair. Okay, alright, whatever. I'll message Kigox. Stand off him just for now.
I take a deep breath and I glare at the halfling, and then I take a slow step backward off of the door so that way he can be unpinned from it since Anthena's got him. But I will stay like in the, well, I guess there's not a doorway anymore. It's more like an opening.
Yeah.
I will stand in the opening to make sure that he doesn't get past.
The open concept. Of
Yes.
Gotta tear out the wall there so that you can have an open concept breakfast
Open
nook.
concept. With the bar stools, yes.
With bar stools, yes, with bar stools, breakfast nook.
So he kind of gingerly tugs his leg out from under the door. The leg is pretty mangled. He can kind of still move it up at the hip, but he can't really move it below the knee. It's sticking out at a very bad angle. But I will say we have to briefly pause because Cerisa, your spell's running out of time.
Yeah.
Leah and Cerisa, do you guys want to do anything while they're doing that?
Yeah, Cerisa might have her own questions. Can she use thaumaturgy to close that door before the
This one?
spell work? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing right against it. You could just knock it with your hand, too.
Oh, okay. She'll just close that door and stand in front of it. And as the spell starts to wane, she continues to keep very unnerving eye contact with this lady and says, "If you try anything funny, you will regret it."
Leah, are you doing anything in particular?
Leah just has like her kind of spell book out and is just kind of watching the interaction, like ready to cast if she needs to, but she's not getting
Okay.
like in between them.
All right, yeah. If she does anything, I'll let you react to it.
Okay.
But as the spell starts to wane, she kind of like shrugs and rotates her shoulders a little stiff from the spell, and she kind of flexes her neck to the side. But she just holds both of her hands up and just goes, "I'm not that loyal." Nah, and so she's just kind of standing there with her hands up.
Well, Cerisa kind of glances at the two dead bodies, and then just locks eyes with her again. "I have some questions for you."
Yeah, all right. Ask your way. I'm not gonna die for some captain.
Right, because you're not that loyal.
She nods.
Well, are you lot behind the...
I will let you
Yeah.
interrogate her
Oh.
after. I just want to get to the more pressing
Oh.
issue. So if you guys just want to kind of
Okay.
like hold her at point until at spell point until they sort of address the bigger elephant in the room, if you will.
The elephant.
Hey!
So Captain Hanlon has gingerly pulled his leg out from under the rather heavy security door, but he's still at sword point from Anthena. So as he slides back a little bit, you're right here, Anthena, to stop him from really trying anything. So what do you do?
Go on then.
All right. It was a while back, all right? Listen, we did a job together. We were supposed to split the whole from it, but the law was swarming, so he made off with the bigger half of it. He's supposed to deliver it to me, pirate's honor. Before he does, he stops off here. So, I think he's just going to take it and run. So, I did poison him. I thought he'll be out of commission a few days. I can take my gold back. He'll probably recover from it. But I've got my money. Then I hear he gave my half away. Then I hear he died of the poison, and I say good. Because he gave my money away. To a church. Who the bloody hell cares about a church? And so I said to myself, I'm going to get my money back. I stationed up in here, and I got to work. But, don't look good massacring a bunch of churchgoers, so got a little more creative, that's all. It's my money, it's not like I'm stealing it.
Not your money. It's theirs. It's their money.
It wasn't
He
his
gave
to
it
give
to them.
away, it was my money.
It stopped being your the second you killed him.
I thought he was stealing it. And, far as I'm concerned, he did. He gave it away.
And you deserve it, do you?
Of course I do. It's mine.
Well, it's not yours. It's not yours anymore. She kind of creeps closer to him, getting her sword closer and closer to his skin, kind of digging into it slightly. She's like, "It's the thing that I've always hated about pirates. You act without thinking and just blinded by your selfishness and your gold and just doing whatever you can to keep yourself safe. You don't think about anyone else. You don't think about how it affects other people." You killed him.
I ain't here for your judgment. Either offer me or don't, but I don't have to hear this from you. If you ain't looking out for yourself in this world, no one else is.
So you're wrong. And she'll stab him through the heart.
He kind of and tries to sputter something out. but he doesn't get that far with a sword through his heart and lung. And with a gurgle, he collapses back onto the floor. And there's a couple more kind of little, and then he's still.
I think she kind of props her foot up on his chest and will kind of wait and make sure that he's dead. Just kind of stare down at him for a really long time. And then she'll go and she'll pick the hat up off of his head. Take it. She won't put it on, but she takes it.
Serial killer trophy.
He snatch his hat up and leave him lying on the ground with his bald spot.
Yep. She'll maybe roll him over, give it with the foot of the tip of her boot. And I think she's kind of just very still for a long time, but so if anybody else has stuff they want to do, feel free. But I do want to investigate this desk.
Very well. So the other pair, we can kind of just all lump you all together. You'd be able to hear everything. So Sarisa and Leah, you would have heard that exchange go on across the room, and likewise Kegox and Athena, you can hear what Sarisa and Leah are doing over here. So you all can be involved. I don't want to say that you're strictly just these two, but Sarisa, you had a question for
Did we hear that?
Anonymous.
That Captain. Sorry. Did we hear him die?
I'll say you can ask her 2 questions before they stab. Yeah, because he did go on a bit of a spiel there.
All right. So instead, Cerise will ask. So what is all this with the plants and the
it's just
bottles of acid?
weapons manufacturing. That's all. It's just a living.
Right. Weapon manufacturing for who exactly?
The highest bidder.
Right. Okay, yeah, that sounds like, I guess, a pirate thing. So, who was your last bidder or whatever?
I don't know. I don't handle that. The boss does. And then you hear a stab, a wet noise, and a gurgle from across the room.
Not anymore! Thanks, Liv.
I got you.
So, Cereza, upon hearing that, looks towards the not doorway, but just hole in the wall.
Open concept.
Open concept. Yep.
The elven woman just keeps her hands in there and just kind of looks back at you. She is kind of sweating a little bit, and she does look nervous, and her eyes are kind of darting around. But she just says, "Looks like I'm out of a job."
Well, looks like it. What's your connection with our friend and Tina?
Well, that was a long time ago. Maybe let bygones be bygones.
Cereza kind of looks at the 2 dead bodies on the floor. And then looks back at her.
Point taken. We did a job a while back. And the law was after us. We just had to take a fall for us. That's all. It happens all the time. Not that big of a deal.
Sure. Not that big of a deal unless you're the one taking the fall, I suppose.
Point taken. Point taken.
So, did the people upstairs know anything about this? The person running the bar?
Not that I know of. It's just it's a cover. It's a front. That's all.
So they had no idea you were the ones blackmailing the Church of Fortuna and...
Hey, listen. All I did was help make stuff. I didn't have anything to do with that blackmail business.
Really?
Word of honor, didn't matter to me. It's none of my business.
Word of honor from... a pirate.
All right, point taken. But I swear, if the boss was obsessed with that, I was just working here for the cult.
Well... Can, Cerisa make a, an insight check to see if she's a liar?
Yep.
Insight. Ooh, yeah. Are you a liar? 22, baby.
From what you can gather from her facial expression, she's being pretty forthright with you. She's not really, She's trying to paint herself in a bit of a better light, sure, but she's not lying to you. She's trying to lessen the blow of her admissions, but she is certainly not telling you any falsehoods.
True. Alright, so Cerisa can see that she's telling the truth. However, she doesn't feel like she's really blameless. Oh, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. You are gonna go sit right here. Can I broadcast? But hello? Let me?
Here, are you on the
Yeah,
the
yes.
Roller tool? You're
Yeah,
on
on
the
the
roller tool.
roller
I can
tool.
see you.
Oh, I'm
flashing,
well,
Oh,
at
yeah.
least
You point
yeah.
at the chair. She nods, but continue.
She like kind of like motions her to go. Like, go on, sit.
All right. Here, let me get rid of her hold person.
Okay. And while they're all investigating, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on you. And you know what we're gonna do now?
No.
We're gonna pray.
Oh.
Whoa.
All right. To who?
To Lady Fortuna.
Sure. If that's what you want, all right. All right.
Because we're going to be praying for some good fortune for you. Because the other three weren't very fortunate.
Yeah, well, I certainly use a turn in my favor, at least. She's just sitting down. She still kind of has her hands where you can see them. So you can tie her up if you want. You do have a rope.
Sentient rope, in fact.
Yes.
Well, not sentient, but moving at least.
Right.
It doesn't
Not gonna-
experience emotion.
It's not going to explain philosophy to you, but
Fuck, then what good is it?
It's gonna work. It's gonna be good right now. And so Cerise is gonna take her little flute out of her bag and do a little.
I'm so immersed. Wow.
And she's
Alright.
gonna use Coilette, her rope snake, to tie this chick up to the chair.
yeah, the rope snake follows your orders and coils around her, looping kind of around her ankles and around her wrists, and then kind of finishes itself with a tight knot around at the back where she can't reach it. And so you estimate she probably won't be moving anywhere.
Thank you, Coilette. I knew you'd come in handy. Okay. Well, sorry about that. I just gotta make sure, you know?
So she's been immobilized. I just wanted to address that because she was sort of now that he was dead, she was the biggest elephant in the room. So I wanted to make sure that she wasn't
Not the biggest.
trying to escape or anything. Like
Yeah, not the biggest, literally, but
that. Well, she was the loose end that needed to be tied up. So
There we go.
And now Cerise is
for-
forcing her to pray.
yeah, so you force her to do that. Leah, you're gonna sift through some stuff, but back in the other room. So Hanlan has been killed, and there is sort of a moment's pause. I wanted to give you a second to think, Gabby, but what do you do?
I think Anthena, she's standing still, very still, and she's like, kind of, her feet are like almost rooted in place, and she's got her sword still drawn. I mean, she doesn't need it anymore, but it's almost like she's like just got it out, and she's kind of like keeps flexing her hands and like, you know, holding them in fists like they're numb, and she's trying to get them to come back awake. And she's looking around, but her eyes are really blank. And then she keeps looking back at this dead guy at her feet, like almost as if she expects him not to be there. She expects him to just disappear, and it's just not real. But he's there. And she's got blood probably on her hands or her nice dress. And I think she kind of starts to get a really terrified look in her eye. Like, this has been someone else or some deep sort of brain piloting her, not a side of her that she really knew she had, and now it's all kind of retreating, and she's back to just looking at what just happened, and not only that, but reeling in the information. And so I think she's starting to kind of panic, but can't move.
I drop out of my rage and I place my hand on Anthena's, the one that's holding the sword. You have to breathe.
I can't, what?
You have to breathe. And Kegox, being a seasoned warrior of sorts from his time, has taken a life. Is it apparent to me that Anthena has never killed someone before?
Yeah.
So I when my hand goes onto hers, it's not like I'm going to take the weapon from you. It's no, this is now an extension of you. because you've taken a life. You will bear this weight, but you need to breathe, or it will suffocate you.
He deserves it, didn't he? I didn't. I don't.
Breathe.
Her breath is like rapid, and I think she's like gulping in air and just trying to hold it in her lungs. And I think if your hand is there, she'll kind of, the sword will just completely clatter out of her hand, and I think she'll just kind of like collapse and just, go dead weight. And I think she's started a mix between like crying and just hyperventilating all the bad feelings. And I think she goes to kind of like cover her face, but she like in doing that, she looks at all the blood on her hands and she just kind of like just collapses and shuts her eyes and is trying to not look at herself.
And she's not trying to look at herself. I would pull her in so that way she didn't have to look at her hands. She didn't have to look at anything. I go to like pull her into a less bloodied part of my own chest and just kind of like, I don't know, whatever doesn't have a...
sticking out of that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh
But I'm also very big. I'm also very
her
big.
eye poked out by.
He's like, here, my lower calf is not as bloody as the rest. Here you go.
Lower calf is clean.
But no, I try to pull her in to give her a sense of not feeling alone, that this was not just her doing, that she was not alone when this happened. This is not her burden to fully bear on her own. And you said that her sword hand was clattering and she might have dropped it?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like kick the sword away. And I just try to be like, I guess a big woolly safety blanket. As weird as that is, like just to get her to calm down. If she's hyperventilating, she's not used to what has just happened. And I would move her away. If she would have let me, if she would let me move her, I would move her like
yeah. She's kind of just like, I don't know, like dead weight. Like she's not even, trying to do anything. She's just hugging you.
Yeah, I move her over to this chair. And then I spin the chair around so that way she doesn't have to look that way. And then I take this rug after I move her, and I'm going to cover the pirate with the rug.
No.
At least until she can calm down. Mm-hmm. And I don't leave her side because to me, this is someone who's embarked on like their first battle with another tribe. Because that's what I asked, friend or foe, what are they? And for them being foe and her to basically she did take out all three of them, didn't she? She scored the killing.
Yeah. You'd think it was planned, guys, but
yeah, so with that, it's like Kagox isn't desensitized to it. He still knows the faces of those that he's taken, but he doesn't want that to be all that Anthena remembers from this. There are motives. You had cause to enact your vengeance. But it will weigh on you, and it will not leave you. You have been bloodied this day. And you needn't be alone.
she looks up at you, and I mean, her eyes she's crying, and they're just wide and frightened, but I think she will somehow mutter out a thank you, very sincere, and will hug you again if you'll let her.
Yeah, he would allow it. Yeah.
And will do her best to calm down. And if I don't think she says much. I don't think there's much for her to say, but she really appreciates it. And after she's kind of, I don't know, not over it because she won't be, but
right.
calm enough. I think she'll kind of, if you want, we can work on searching this desk and the chest that's behind here and trying to figure out some things.
If you still need a moment to sit and what's a word that I heard someone in the street say? Ruminate on what has occurred.
That's
I will.
Kickox, good job.
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to listen. I'll explore things if Anthena needs those moments to herself. But
she may. She appreciates it.
I look to her, and there's this flash for Keggox, like this little memory, of when he was with his family, and he remembers teaching his son how to use a spear, and what spears are used for. They're used for hunting, but they can also be weapons, and he goes to say something, but the memory itself is silent, but the words come out in this moment, and these words are spoken to Anthena instead, and he says, "You did well."
I think she's kind of shocked about that. Not about him being kind, but just that there's some sort of pride to be found in what she did, and I think it kind of like wipes the sadness off her face for just a second, and she kind of looks up at him and it's like, "You did as well."
I ruffle her hair, and then I'm going to open the chest.
She sits, and you see she takes a pirate hat out of her bag. Not the one that she just looted off the corpse, but the different one, the one she's had for some time, and we'll just kind of sit with it and staring down at it in her lap.
Very well. So we'll just have the others investigate, and we'll go through it all together. First things first, Keggox, you checked this chest, right?
Yes.
So as you search that chest, it's pretty obvious what it's holding. It is a lot of gold. You estimate that these are probably the shipments, the installments, the payments that were being made in blackmail to the church. From the church back to Hanlon, as they were making them in installments since they couldn't pay it all at once. So there's a significant amount of gold in here. Well over 1,000 gold pieces in that chest.
Damn.
Not ours, guys.
Okay,
Don't get
sorry.
any idea.
No, I would be like, listen, if I was this handling guy, I'd be mad too. What the fuck? Like,
Dang.
a lot of fucking money. You mean they owe more than that? And bro was just like, here, take it. I'd be mad too. What the fuck? Shit.
I wanted him to feel justified, but also like a bit of a dickhead for doing it.
No, he's a
was
major
the vibe.
dickhead, but also like I would also be mad
you
if
can
some dude was like,
understand
"Here's
his
your money,"
perspective,
and
but he's still a dickhead. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, he's an absolute dickhead, but also like that's a lot of money. I would also be mad. To be fair,
Anthena's judgment is a bit blinded.
you see, I wouldn't.
There's some
like,
good guys in the story, but she's a bit
I
biased.
wouldn't poison the fucker, but I'd have some words. I'd be like, "Bitch, it's my 1,000 gold. What the fuck?"
Hey, that's the
that's
life
the
of a
way.
pirate.
That's a house down payment, brother. Like,
Leah, you find sort of like a skew of components and ingredients.
nice.
Clearly, they were working on something here, and you can kind of start to piece it together from sifting through their desks. Seems like what they were doing here was kind of specific, rather than, like I was saying the last session, rather than just sort of like developing all these different potions. They were trying to create something clearly very, very specific. And as you sort of look through some of the sketches, some of the notes that have been made here, they were making a weapon, but not just like any sort of weapon. They were making something very specific, a certain type of cannon shot that would burst with acid damage and eat away at the ship it was fired at. And so it would enable them, if they succeed at doing what they're trying to do, to just punch a hole in any pirate ship instantly, essentially.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
So yeah, they're essentially trying to refine a new revolutionary type of cannonball that would seem pretty darn deadly, essentially.
Respect.
But from what they're working with, there's all sorts of different components. So if there's any specific spell-like components you're looking for, you might find them here. I like to always offer that to people who cast spells that might have components involved. But if you want to take a second look through your list and stuff, you might not have any. People don't tend to choose them. It's only the ones that say that they consume it that you would need it for. So it goes for anybody else who has any spells like that. But I forget what Teresa ended up picking. Teresa, do you have ceremony?
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, likewise, if anybody has any spells that require a component as the spellcasting process, anytime you stumble across alchemist labs like this, you can specifically say you're looking for it, and we'll see if it has it. But if nobody has anything they're looking for, then yeah, you sift through a bunch of different stuff. You can kind of see like some half-made prototypes, some rather shoddy-looking bombs. You can see some half-melted cannonballs from prototypes that didn't work. You kind of start to look around and you can actually see a couple holes in the floor as well that look like maybe they dropped some acid, and you start to understand why that guy threw acid at you guys as they were storing it.
Can I take
through,
some acid?
Yeah, so you would find another vial of just acid. It's in a rather like hefty looking glass bottle that looks like it's very, very thick. So the amount of acid it can actually hold is pretty slim. But you do find sort of one untainted thing of acid that you can pocket. You also find something kind of odd that it doesn't really quite make sense to you right when you see it, but then you start to kind of the gears turn in your arcane knowledge, and it starts to make sense. You find sort of tucked into, and with a couple pages on top of it, you find a staff. And the head of it, sort of up near where you'd hold it, is actually coiled over into a snake.
Intriguing.
And for a second you're like, was one of them a wizard or a magician or a cleric or something that might use a staff like this? And clearly that wasn't the case, since none of them went for a wand during the battle. And then you go, they were using it for an infinite supply of venom. This is a staff of the adder, which is a common enough item that you might have seen it before.
Yeah. I would assume so in her research at some point.
And so they were using it as essentially a little fountain of one of the components of their acid bombs. But a way to get an infinite supply of it. They were sort of milking the staff for venom, if you will.
Interesting.
Run of venom, go milk the staff.
That's probably the most significant.
It's on staff milking duty.
That's probably the most significant find that you notice on this desk.
Yoink. Taking my... Gimme. I want that staff. I want to rummage around on these boxes mostly.
Yeah, you can take it, but you should probably show it to your snake friend.
Yeah, I will. I want to rummage through boxes first.
No, go off, go ahead.
Box time.
Yeah, so you begin to shift through. Some of them just hold like their giant cases full of cannonballs.
Nice.
And so you kind of sift through those and you find various things like that. You can find sort of some pouches of gunpowder as well. You can find more components. It's storage mostly.
Okay. I want to take some gunpowder also.
All right, yeah, you can snatch a tiny little pouch of just raw gunpowder.
Nice.
Leah just likes to
What are you
carry
gonna
around
use that for?
explosives, I think.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, real question. Okay, is it gunpowder or is it black powder? Because like you could use it could be either, but like black powder is really stable. So gunpowder, meh. But how's the volatility on it?
I was using gunpowder to sort of clue you in on what it was. It is not literal gunpowder. I would be like flash powder from specific cannonballs that would be used in this fantasy world.
I see. No.
Since nobody has straight up
I was
guns
just-
in this
yeah,
world,
yeah,
it is not literally gunpowder. But I was trying to
Yeah.
tell you what it was. But
No. I get it. The volatility is what I'm interested in.
in terms
Is
of
it gonna
volatility,
fall?
if you brought it near fire or any sort of spark or something like that, it might ignite.
Okay.
Might.
So I'm gonna put some in my pocket.
One
Naturally.
great idea.
Yeah.
Surely there will be no
Next
problem.
to the rune. I'm kidding. I dropped that off. That's a joke. I dropped that off. Did not have it on my person when I got shot.
So that's what you kind of sift through and find here.
Okay.
I'll say this alembic over here, these sort of larger casks seem to be sifting sort of like a half-boiled version of the acid, not
Ooh.
quite done, sort of in its processing, but probably won't get finished anytime soon.
Yeah.
And
I
cursory inspections at these barrels will also indicate that they're probably filled with whatever goes into this to get processed into acid. So you kind of find the many stages of what they've been creating here.
Acid process. Cool. I want to also search the bodies for anything interesting.
Sure. You find on him, well, he has a saber. So you can snatch that if you want. He also has 15 gold on him.
Yoink.
And
Why
he
not?
has a key that likely goes to the door that's been ripped off its hinge.
Well,
Throw that out.
I mean,
And
that ain't right.
actually, it would be a key ring. He has a second key that would likely go to the trap door that you came through as well.
Okay.
On this guy, he as well has weapons. You find like tucked away just some old empty bottle, maybe alcohol, and another 11 gold pieces.
Yoink. Great. Took all their gold, and I'm now going to perform a field autopsy on this guy. For fun.
what?
We know what killed him, bro.
We do know what killed them, yes.
Yeah. But she is interested.
Does Sarisa see Leah messing with these bodies?
Probably.
You're going to go and do an autopsy?
Yep.
Okay, Sarisa will stop forcing this chick to pray, whip her head around and be like, what are you doing?
It's the bigger of two evils here. Sarisa. You're forcing her to pray. Leah's like actively cutting this guy's chest cavity open, and she's like,
Just girly things.
Yes, I'm just very interested to see the effects of like long-term acid exposure on the body.
Sarisa looks like she's about to puke.
Oh, but Teresa, no, but this is something that you should know too. Because, you got the snake thing going. It's very important. There could be long-term damage. You want to know about that, don't you?
But, okay, so where were we in our prayer? She just turns back around.
Oh my god.
You tell me, you're the expert.
Okay, so. And then she just continues. I actually was meaning to ask you if there was any, like, prayers, stories,
What?
allegories, or parables.
Yeah, parables. You want to teach her some parables about Fortuna, about
Yes.
about the whims of the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can teach her all about how your luck can turn very quickly, and she nods along, just thinking to herself, "Yep, that's clearly what happened here today."
I think Cerise's
day
gonna try.
I was enjoying a cushy little illicit weapons operation, and the next time, almost murdered. So she's like, "Yep."
Alright.
She's nodded along. She would honestly probably have heard some of this before, since she's a pirate, and Fortuna lore tends to kind of reign fairly heavy in pirate culture.
Yeah, it does.
Though it would probably look a little different to her, since she's not from the same place you are. So she's kind of heard some of the ideas before, but you're putting them into a different context and using different examples to display those parables.
Cerise's gonna try and convert another person, guys.
This is like the Crusades, in a way. Somehow.
I think Cerise's gonna try and comfort herself in her own way and not pay attention to these dead bodies by just trying to convert this chick.
The open dead bodies.
Yeah, Cerise's not
Very
trying to think about
important.
that.
Very important to know.
Cerise's just trying to lock in.
Real talk though, do Athena and or K-Cox also see this? Either of these things happening?
I mean, all it would take is a
Anthena
glance outside the door that doesn't exist anymore, so I don't
There's
imagine they'd
gonna
be
fall.
oblivious to it.
Anthena is in a chair facing away from the door, sort of disassociating. So I don't.
They might not be addressing it immediately, but they would be vaguely aware it's happening. They might not know exactly what Cerise's mumbling about across the room, though.
Shit, I need to be there for this lesson.
I'm
I'm a new convert. I need to know.
I'm interested to see how they feel about Teresa forcing Fortuna on this woman.
You're coming
Teresa, what
off
you're
in
doing is
bodies.
wrong. What you're doing is wrong, Teresa. Come on, Leah,
What do you
thumbs
mean? There's 3 dead people on the floor!
Leah is just doing her job, like her literal job.
Cerise's doing her job, alright? Cerisa didn't tell you to stop. So you don't have to tell Cerisa to stop, alright?
Question: if I cast to speak with dead while I'm giving this guy an autopsy, would he be like, "Whoa, what the fuck"?
I mean, if you know that spell, you can cast it, I guess.
No, she does, but also I don't want to waste a 3rd level spell slot.
What questions do you have for him?
To see if this guy would be like, "Dude, what the fuck? Why are your hands in my chest?"
Just kind of want to freak
I
him
just
out a
don't-
little bit.
Just like, "Hey, dude, welcome back from heaven or hell or wherever. Do you like your autopsy? Is it
Oh
going-
my god.
Do you have any chronic conditions? Do you want to tell
What's your family history?
me? What's your family history?
What's your
Are you on any medications?
All right. Anyway,
Are you
back to the-
sexually active?
All right. Let's revert back to the main storyline, not autopsy.
Oh, that was too far.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, that was really funny.
So I think I've covered most of what you find here. Sarisa, on the desk where you're praying, you would also notice some components, ingredients, and all sorts of little pouches and cases for things like that. Everything from different types of leaves and flowers to all sorts of little dusts and powders and eyeballs and little tails of different creatures. There's a lot of different stuff here.
Is there a dead rat?
We'll say there's a tail of a rat in a little bottle.
Cerisa will pocket that. A snack for Cobalt later.
So you're forcing her to pray, and she's like repeating back whatever you say, and then your hand just like slowly reaches out on the table and just picks up a little rat tail and tucks it into your pocket.
Yep. Yep. And she
the woman whose name you still don't know, just pretends to not see that. She doesn't want to know at all what that was about.
That's so insane though. Like imagine you're like ready to kill somebody and then they beat everybody else as your boss, and then instead of killing you like you think they're gonna do, they're like, all right, you're gonna fucking recite the 12 tenets of my religion or some shit.
She is
and you're like, okay.
just kind of going along with it because she doesn't want to die. She kind of assumes that Sarisa is a bit of a psychopath, and she doesn't want to mess with that.
Well, I think she might be, honestly. The fact that she's just like, okay, you're gonna pray now.
She watches
You're gonna sit here and pray.
A rat tail off the thing and tuck it in your pocket, and she just assumes that that's something you're gonna eat later, and she just doesn't even acknowledge it. She just like quietly goes back into prayer, praying a little bit harder now.
She's like, oh fuck, please don't. Please
someone to convert, alright? This is how you get somebody to go clean. Alright?
Of course.
Of course. See, Cerisa knows what she's doing.
Yeah. I'm now scared of Cerisa a little
scared
bit.
straight.
Yeah, I am now a little scared of Cerisa.
But I will say, in the other room, Kegox, who's sifting around, you looked through the chest, you found a ton of gold. You look through some of these dressers, and you find mostly clothes, actually. It appears that Captain Hanlon was basically just living down here, not getting out all that much. And so these were sort of his living quarters, so you see evidence of that. You also see some bottles of kind of alcohol tucked away in this little cabinet in the corner. Relatively expensive stuff, not that you would particularly know.
No, but it's alcohol though. Like I uncork one and I sniff it. Okay.
Yeah, he's got some rums and whiskeys in rather nice, rather pretty looking bottles, a lot prettier than you would have seen in the past, Kegox.
Okay.
They got like little gold ribbons tied around the necks and stuff like that. And then I will say on this desk here, you find random notes, some of them about seemingly what they were making down here. You can see a bit of correspondence between what appears to be Hanlon and maybe some other pirate captains. Just some random names that, again, you don't particularly recognize. They're all just sort of inquiring about the progress of the project he's working on, and asking about potential prices, and some of them are offering amounts of gold that are very sizable should his project that he's working on pan out. But you do also find kind of tucked away in a drawer here and folded so that they sit sort of towards the back of the drawer, a few letters of correspondence. But I don't know if Kegox can read, to be honest.
Kegox can't.
So
Kegox cannot. He looks at these papers. They all have like scribbles on them, and I just kind of like scoop them all together, important ones and non-important ones. I put them all together and I just hand them to Anthena.
So Anthena, you sift through these, and you see the correspondence between Hanlon and other pirate captains. Again, none of them you particularly recognize. Maybe you've heard in passing, but never really heard many stories about. Just kind of names that pass across people's lips in pirate taverns. Just various captains inquiring about the status of this new weapon that he's been working on. And some of them expressing frustration that it's not done yet. Some of them offering sizable amounts of gold to have exclusive access to it. But again, it's hard to say exactly where any of those went because you don't have his end of the correspondence that he sent.
Right.
But again, tucked away in that drawer, Chaos has handed you a bunch of little folded up pieces of paper that appear to be rather like kind of shortened to the point correspondences, written in a very elegant hand. And they are signed at the bottom in a very dignified flourish with the name Lomaziel. And as you read through them, they are updates on the blackmail scheme. You were told that the blackmail was occurring through a third party, right?
Right.
And in fact, you may have seen that third party. Though I don't know if you remember that.
Ooh.
And it would appear that this person, this Lomaziel, was the third party.
Gotcha. Okay. You're saying we've seen them? Is it a name I recognize, or is it just we would have seen them probably?
I don't know
being
that
the
you
third
ever
party?
got the name,
Okay, all right.
but
That's what I was wondering.
you guys were in the church and you saw something go on, and then you asked about it. So I don't know if this might just be that it was months ago
Okay.
that you're not.
I mean, I remember
together.
we were in the church. We asked about the blackmail,
Yeah, if
and
you
it
recall
was there
when
was a
you-
person that would come and,
Well,
and
do you
demand the
do you
money.
recall when you walked in?
The guy. There was was there
maybe,
a guy?
Maybe
but I
nobody
can't-
clocked that. I thought it was obvious, but maybe nobody clocked that.
There was a dude having a discussion with one of the nuns, right? And it was
With-
like we didn't know what was happening with Charity.
With Charity, yeah. And then
Yeah,
that was when she started to get depressed, and then that's why you asked her about it.
and that's why we asked her what was wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that yeah, okay, makes sense. Did she say that he was the one in charge of it, or did she not reveal that?
I think she implied that she talked to the third party, and she implied that that was him, but I don't know if you guys put that together or not.
Okay.
I certainly
Nope.
feel that I
It's
probably
likely we
implied
didn't.
that, but
Okay, noted.
yeah, the
I will talk-
the tiefling man who was talking to her when.
Okay, all right, but that's the only time we've seen him, right? We haven't seen him like around.
Not seen him since, yeah.
All right. Well, she will take those notes and tuck all of them into one of her many pockets. I think definitely that's important, but she's also she keeps kind of going back to all this correspondence and looking
Yeah,
at all of
I was
the.
gonna say one more thing about the correspondence.
Oh, yes, please
They're
do.
written in a very like dignified hand, clearly professionally written, in a very practiced hand that does a lot of writing. And you get from the stuff that you were told by Charity, plus what you're reading right here, between these rather frank updates and the way that they're phrased. The way that they're phrased is very unincriminating, if you will. They're very measured in how they're written so as to never truly incriminate anybody as they dictate out what's occurring. They're written very vaguely. And as you sort of look through all that, and from what Charity told you, you go, oh, this person's a lawyer.
Oh, that's funny.
Classic. Okay. Makes sense. She kind of narrows her eyes at it. And I think, is there any sort of mention of like a location or some sort of like, I don't want to say office, but like, is there like some place that we would think that we could find this person?
The only two places that are mentioned are the Knife's Edge and the church. But as you're reading the letters, you notice that the person who wrote them has very conveniently sort of left themselves and any information about themselves out of this correspondence. Again, very non-incriminating.
Yeah.
Clearly, whoever
Okay.
wrote these has seen correspondence that does incriminate people and knows very much how to avoid that.
How about it? Yeah. Okay. And then one last question: is there like any sort of indication of the dates that like he would go and get the money, like like the schedule of when he would go to the church?
Relatively regularly.
Okay.
On those same days that Charity told you.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But they're written fairly vaguely, but you can kind of piece together that
Yeah.
they were about that regular. But
Okay.
again, no exact dates, no exact times, no exact schedules, because clearly they were avoiding that on purpose. I'll
Yeah.
also just
Okay.
write down what the signed name was so you guys can remember that.
Yes. Thank you. Got it. Okay. I will take that note, and then also all of the other correspondence from the pirate captains and stuff, because I think she's kind of clocking that they're asking about this weapon, and that is a little bit unnerving. So anyway, she'll take all of the letters and stuff.
Very well. Other than that, you find tucked away in that desk a little bit more, just kind of Hanlon's loose spending money. This was storing most of the gold that he'd received from those shipments, but it was being kept separate so that he could count to make sure it was matching up. And so his own kind of stores of money are kept in one of these drawers, and so you find a rather hefty coin purse full of 50 gold. But that is about it for searching. So you all kind of drift back together vaguely, except maybe Sarisa. Well, what do you want to do?
Who, me?
Any of you. I just mean, you sort of finished looting the place, so those who are looting can kind of drift back towards the group. And those who are in the middle of prayer or cutting open dead bodies can continue to do so if they want.
Yeah, Leah is continuing to cut dead bodies.
Oh my god.
Paycox has Rosalia, right?
Yes. I have not given Rosalia back to you yet.
Okay, good.
But I did clean her off. Yeah, I did clean her off.
Appreciated. Yeah, I was like, I don't for like actual play reasons, I don't want to leave that sword behind, but
I roll up Hanlon in the rug and I tuck him over here.
Thank you.
In the corner.
Appreciate it.
And then this guy who's not being vivisected live on stream.
In a video game.
You don't know that.
In a video game in Minecraft.
She could be doing both at the same time.
It's not a vivisection. He's not alive.
It's not a vivisection. It's an autopsy because he's dead. She could be autopsying both of them. One hand in each chest.
Oh, wow. I'd like to, after I rob his liquor cabinet of 2 bottles of something, whatever smells strongest, I'm going to dip into one of them.
Yeah, you get a bottle of rum and a bottle of whiskey.
Okay, cool. But I open the tops on all of them because I have to smell all of them. So if they were vintage, they're not anymore.
You guys can learn that if that stayed unopened, it was thousands of gold worth of alcohol that you could have resold.
Darn.
I'm gonna go out here and then I see Leah like cutting them open.
Yep.
What are you doing?
An autopsy?
What is an autopsy?
Well, I'm cutting them open to see if they have any lasting long-term damage due to acid exposure. It's very interesting.
But they are dead. They cannot tell you anything.
Yes, they cannot. Well, they could. If I wanted to waste a third level spell slot.
Well, if I wanted to.
If I wanted to, I could. But no, the state of their bodies post mortem actually offers a lot more insight into a person's status than when they are alive. You see.
So speaking of insight, does it strike me that Leah has ever offed somebody? Because again, up until now, other than the mole people, which apologies to the mole people.
Sorry,
Um,
I made a severe
they're a sentient race, you know, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, we killed mole people?
Yeah,
At the beginning,
Oh,
Someone
that's
did.
right.
Wow. No, Leah
Your
did
log and
also
crushed
do an
them.
autopsy on one of the mole people as well. For now.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Leah, you can correct me, but I don't think Leah would have any reaction to death.
No, I mean, if you want to roll insight, Kagox, like I have some tidbits I could give you, but
Go for it if you want.
Yeah.
but-
yeah, go for it.
yeah, I would like to see if there was any way to know if Leah has unalived someone. Or
Yeah,
someone with a
Well,
that's
insight.
not of a bestial nature. 11.
I would say that you can tell that her view of death and killing is very different from most people's, as in she herself has not, like, I don't think you could tell if she's killed somebody or not. She probably hasn't, but she's not at all bothered by this in the slightest. Not in like a, oh, she's a bloodthirsty killer way, but as
Yeah,
in
not
death
a
is-
he's Jack the Ripper or,
yeah.
or anything
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
Leah
you-
is the big bad of the
definitely-
season.
Yeah, you definitely get the distinct feeling that, like, she probably hasn't killed anybody just because of her background, but she doesn't seem all too perturbed by the idea.
Okay. Well, Kagox is going to move in just a little bit while you're, probably elbows deep in viscera.
Yes.
And perhaps now is not the best time. And I kind of shoot my eyes towards where Anthena is in the other room. And can I tell that Cerisa is disturbed by this?
Ooh. Can there also be a roll for insight? Is that a thing? Or would it be more obvious? I don't know.
Up to you.
Cerisa has her back to the dead bodies. And you can hear her and this poor chick both not talking. Sounds like they're praying.
I don't know what a prayer is. That's fine.
So she does have her back to everyone. So
Could I make an insight for body language then to see if she's super tense or
yes.
Okay. 12.
Is that good? I think that's good. Yeah, she is very tense. You can kind of see a little shake in her knees. And oh, I've never done this before. I don't know what else you could see with a 12. Hee.
Yeah, a little uncomfortable, maybe not
Okay. But I guess I'm just trying to convey to Leah that this likely is their first time with this. And it might be making us uncomfortable. The
It went
collective
away.
us.
It went away because I switched it to rage mode back.
How dare you? How dare you take my Bardic? That was mine.
You put
You
it in our
stole
rage
it
if you
from me.
want it.
That's true. That's true.
Took all those
Um,
arrows to the gut without your rage if you want it.
That's yeah. No.
Yes.
No. Kagox would have been gone. But no, I basically, in a low, hushed voice, it's like, you do what you like, but I don't think that it's having a positive effect on the rest of us.
Leah kind of blinks a few times, and she looks up at Kagox and she says, I guess I understand, but at the same time, we killed these people. Yes, is there a disconnect that I don't quite understand?
And I just keep close to Leah and say, Anthena has connections to this group of people. Perhaps seeing you elbow deep in their rib cages is not the best thing for her right now.
I mean, yeah. Sure. Leah just kind of awkwardly unautopsies.
It's like
Slowly
chest cavity
removes her
is
arm.
splayed open
She's
and you just like
Yeah,
close it
yeah.
like a book.
She's like kind of awkwardly like closing pulling the flap down of skin back or okay. Like she's looking at Kagox not like he's insane or anything, but she's just kind of vague, a little confused, just a little bit, but not a lot. She's kind of sure. Guess nobody else wants to know about the dangers of long-term exposure of acid damage, but it's fine. But she is unautopsying them, by the way. She's reverse autopsy. And she's putting, you watch.
Click undo. Click undo.
You watch as she's putting organs back into the guy's body.
Put the organs back.
organs out.
Yeah, you take. Yeah, when you remove organs during an autopsy so that you can weigh them and then dissect them by piece. So that you can also get a view at the internal body cavity and things like that.
Guys, I did not know how.
Olivia's
you-
not a serial killer. She's just studied.
I'm not a serial killer. Excuse me, Twitch. Need to say this. Not a serial killer. Just really interested in autopsies. So, not a serial killer though.
Could
She's very interested in autopsies for her.
Yeah,
and she, quote unquote, her. She told me this in confidence, guys. Her recreational activities. So,
Yes, college.
Yes. Sorry. Oh, I thought you said you weren't going to tell anybody about that.
Med
God
school.
damn it.
No.
Son of
So
a
yes,
bitch.
you tuck the organs back where they belong, and
Yes.
fold the skin flaps back.
I want to get clothes from here, if he's got the pirate coats, and I'm gonna drape them over the bodies.
Yeah.
Before Andina comes out of the room, and
Yep.
then
Yeah, you can do it.
once we gather back up, I want to look to this lady, but I'm asking Leah and Anthena because Ceresa's got her pretty much, I guess, busy with prayer. She's busy.
Thank you, Bluefin, for the DM inspiration. I will write that down because we might not get to use it this session, but I'll save it and we'll spring it on when we're not ready for it.
No.
Blue's
but yeah,
cheating.
You
It's fine.
you look across the room. Ceresa's still deep in prayer with a a woman who just kind of keeps nervously glancing at her.
Looking to both Leah and Anthena, and what do we do about her?
I think at this point, Anthena's done reading like the missives and taking another minute to compose herself. She may have thrown up in the corner, but nobody needs to know about that.
Oh no.
No.
That happens.
It happens.
Yeah. Just as an FYI, we're taking this chest. I don't know if that was stated explicitly, but
Oh, okay. Well, then
figured
I will
that.
help carry that. I will help carry that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just want to make sure we made that clear, and then she'll
Yeah.
kind of shuffle very awkwardly into this room. And I think she has matched your thing of like staring at this woman, but she's no longer at a point of like uncontrollable rage where she's gonna charge her. So I think she's just kind of like looking, and is gonna almost rely on you guys to make the decision.
Well,
Is she done learning her religious lessons?
Yeah, did she learn? Did she get learned?
Teresa's gonna keep
yeah,
teaching her.
until Cereza stops or anybody stops her, she's just kind of still doing that. She glances around every once in a while, but like she's still doing that. So it's up to you guys, really.
I tell Anthena, take Cerisa and go.
What do you mean?
Take Cerisa and go. Leah and I have unfinished business in this room.
What?
Does Cereza hear this?
Fair enough. I'm scared.
Not Leah getting implicated. That's
Well, Kagos was just going to let Leah continue with what she was doing.
Oh, word! Word! Yeah.
I just didn't want to traumatize my other battle sisters with.
so kind. Oh god, are you gonna? Oh no.
Because Kagos, I will walk up here and tell Cerisa, you and Anthena will go.
What?
You and Anthena will go.
She glances at Eye Patch. And then looks at Kagox and like,
What about her?
Kagos in a very it's not mocking. If anything, it's kind of revelatory. He looks to Cerisa and says, "The wheel has been spun."
You guys messaging this?
no, I don't think so.
Because Kagos can't initiate that.
No.
So, okay, so she'll overhear that then. And she'll just say, "Oh, hold on. I've been following everything you wanted."
That's right. She's
Well, I didn't say what I'm going to do.
I think
I
she
might let
can
her
read
go.
enough into that after hearing about 10 minutes full of parables about the wheel. I think she can read that one a little bit.
She's like, wait a second, this is just what
That's
I
fair.
was
That's fair.
saying.
When Kagox said that, Cerisa actually got really still. And a lot more tense.
no. No. I'm not going to leave.
Cerisa,
No.
you and Anthena will go.
And I said no. What are you planning, Kagox?
I'd like to know that as well.
I just put my hand on the woman's shoulder because she's still sitting down, right?
She's tied up.
Oh, she's tied up? Okay. Then I stand behind the chair and I put both hands on her shoulders. It is best that you go. I will not ask again.
You can kind of see Cerise's mouth start to twitch a little bit. And she's looking very angry right now.
Anthena is grabbing her arm and trying to pull her, but I think she's not using her full strength, almost like she doesn't want to.
This isn't necessary, Kagox. She said that she's not loyal to Captain anymore. And it's pretty obvious because he's dead and the two others are dead. So it doesn't need to go any further.
Okay. So this I guess this is a question for Cerisa, and maybe well, obviously for Charlemagne too.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of youth and experience, how old is Cerisa in terms of her people?
I put what?
Like, is she young? Is she she's not an elder, I wouldn't assume.
No, UNTs have a fairly average lifespan, comparable to
I'm
humans.
trying to remember. She's am I allowed to share her age?
I mean, yeah, you can say.
Yeah, she's
They would
she's
have an
23.
estimate just by looking at her.
Oh, are you sure about that? She does. Does she look 23, guys?
She's pretty short.
She's pretty short, and Kagox just seems old. So I mean,
they would get the range.
yeah,
They wouldn't look at her and think old woman.
Yeah.
Kagox would then kind of like admonishing a child would lock eyes with Cerisa. She has no loyalty, but you do not know what she would be capable of if we were to let her go. If you have any faith in Fortuna, you will let the wheels spin.
Don't you dare right now, Kagox. Cerisa kind of starts pointing at him. You will not use my lady in such a way. And besides, she looks at Eye Patch.
Whose name we still don't know.
Name.
Her name. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Cerisa doesn't know her name. What's she looking at like right now? Eye Patch. What's she looking around like?
Her eyes are kind of going to you, and then kind of like a little bit up. Yeah, you would know her name, Anthena. I just didn't know if you did. You decide on any names for any of those characters? Because if you did, you can use them. But if you didn't, I also have a name.
We'll go with yours.
Okay. Well, her name is Triss.
Okay.
That's pretty simple.
How's Triss? Triss? How's she looking? She looking
She keeps kind of her eyes dart to you and then sort of up, like trying to look kind of behind her where Kgox is standing, and then back to you. She's kind of just like trying to stay silent. She clearly understands that a lot is hanging on this conversation right now. And you can kind of see like gears turning in her brain, but she's also kind of sweating, got a bit of a cold sweat going. She's clearly aware of the gravity of this situation, that's for sure.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So Cereza is like looking at Eye Patch, also known as Triss.
AKA
then-
Triss.
Okay, Triss.
Oh, we all know Eye Patch is her real name, guys.
Yeah, obviously.
Duh, all pirates have cool nicknames. Just
Cereza will look at Kgox and say,
You don't get to decide how the wheel turns just because you say so. Not only that, she's converted.
He nods along with that.
So now she serves under Lady Fortuna. And the church is going to have a new member.
She nods along with that too.
that's right, get converted.
She's so ready to convert, yeah.
the quick conversion tools of Cereza.
Well, it's better than being dead, guys. I'll tell you what. I think
So Cereza says that Triss has been converted, right?
yes.
I looked down at Triss. Is this true?
Yes.
Have you made peace with your gods?
She looks at you, Cereza.
Whoa.
Well, not gods plural. Lady Fortuna.
I would like to insight check her before I make a final stance here.
Sure.
Natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, story
Oh
roll.
my god.
The +0 is crazy.
I know, right?
Nat 20 plus
Is
0.
really stealthily pulling out her autopsy.
Oh
That's a joke. That's a joke.
To be honest, it would be rather difficult to say either way in this situation, because in her situation, no matter what, she's going to say this, right? And
Yes.
no matter what, she's going to be nervous. And
Yes.
so it's a little bit hard to read that. But I will say, as she's kind of darting her eyes back and forth and waiting in that long pause as you scrutinize her, she actually looks at Cereza and says, and according to Fortuna's teaching, killing me is a sure thing, letting me go is a gamble, right? And she looks at you, Cereza. So
Yep,
she did pay attention to what you said, Cereza.
Hey, good student. Good student right there.
So I'll let you determine from that with your 20.
Okay. Cereza is a devout follower of Fortuna. She speaks very highly of her lady. She does not speak of her lightly. You know, it controls everything that Cereza does in her day-to-day life. This woman has known Fortuna for as long as she's known Cereza.
That's not
Which
true,
in-
actually. She is a pirate, and it's the number one god amongst pirates.
Oh, well, okay. So
she's not being introduced to the god. Whether or not
Okay.
she was an adherent follower, difficult to say, but she would absolutely be at least aware of the goddess.
Okay. That's I appreciate the correction, by the way. If it is a gamble, then would it not be a gamble to see where her fate lies?
Is he asking Cerisa this?
Yeah.
And are you gonna be the one who determines her fate? Because that's not turning a wheel. That's moving it by your own accord.
My wheel has been moved. You should go.
I'm not leaving, Kagox! You can't do this!
I would like to, if I could, I would like to move out from behind Triss and grab Cerisa by the arm. And I'm going to drag her out this way.
I mean, Teresa, if you want to oppose that, you can.
Yes.
He's a lot bigger than you, but I'll let you try to slip out of it. You can do some opposing rolls.
Okay, what opposing rolls would you have us do?
I would say probably just contested athletics.
Okay.
How do I roll that?
It's on your sheet. Athletics is in the long, tall column
Oh, long
near the
one.
top because it's an A.
You both have a bardic.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
How do we
That's
roll the
actually
bardic?
pretty darn close.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah, that is kind of insane.
It's your bardics have, what are your bardics? There's D6s?
It's a D8.
D8s now.
D8 now.
So if
So
you
we
want to
have
use
to
your
roll a
bardic,
D8?
you can roll a D8 too, yeah. This is also a check, so you can guide yourself, Sarisa.
I am gonna high five myself.
Oh fuck!
You can also lucky this as well, Sarisa.
Oh my god!
Yes!
Fortuna! This is where
Fortuna blesses her with godlike strength in
the
this
luck
moment.
archetype starts to kick in here.
How much is guidance?
That's a D4.
So, D4. It's a 9.
Alright. So you have a 29.
I have
versus
a 25. Yep.
Yeah, well, Sarisa, you win. So Kygox tries to grab you and pull you out, but you slip away.
Like a snake.
Like a snake.
And then Cerisa is going to stand in front of Triss. I guess now in between Kagox and Triss.
Yeah, we'll say Kygox is kind of over here now.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
tried to move past, yeah.
She's gonna hiss. And she's gonna be very panicky now. we don't need to do this. Whatever it is you're doing, we don't need to do this. We've already. She kind of like glances at the body. We've already done enough. We've already done enough. I said that she's been converted, right? And she's gonna start working at the church and turn a new leaf. And she turns around to her. Say it.
Right. Yeah, I am.
See? See? So it doesn't need to come to this. We don't need to kill any more people.
Egox takes a deep breath. He places his hand on Cerise's shoulder, if she'll let him.
Depends on what he's gonna do next.
You're right. You shouldn't have to. You haven't. She hasn't. And I give a nod to Anthena. And
Anthena's pale-faced at the moment.
But I have. And I will spare you from it. I will ask forgiveness when I pass on. But I will not ask for permission now.
What does that mean?
It means that you will go. Or you will witness this.
I don't know if the two of you are ever going to agree, so there is actually some perspective that I want on this discussion.
Okay.
Anthena, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think she's distanced herself away from these two. Obviously, she's not standing right in the middle of them. But I think she's kind of just locking eyes, or not locking eyes, I don't want to say where she's looking, but she's kind of staring at Triss. And I think in doing that, trying to figure out what she wants, because she herself is very confused. Does Triss look scared?
Let me describe it for you.
Okay.
So Triss has, again, a cold sweat going on. You can kind of see like her knees tapping pretty rapidly. And her eyes are darting back and forth between Kegox and Cerisa the whole time. Even when Kegox was behind her, she was trying to kind of look at him a little bit and then back at Cerisa. And you can see she kind of, her brain's moving a mile a minute. And when Kegox went over to try to grab Cerisa, she probably very clearly thought Kegox would just grab her. Kegox is pretty huge, and she probably thought Cerisa wouldn't get away from that. And so when that happened, you actually saw like tears well up in her eyes. And she looked back and forth between Kegox, Cerisa, and then for just a second, her eyes locked with you. And for just that little second in her good eye, you saw that she looked more like a little girl. And you felt, perhaps, if you might agree, that walking out of here with Sarisa and leaving Kagax would feel a lot like leaving her on a dock surrounded by the law. You can take that any way you will.
Yep. Yep. And I think she has a moment where she remembers how utterly betrayed and hurt she felt, how scared. She's just a naive girl who trusted the wrong people and they threw her to the wolves. She looks at the bodies in the corner. She looks down at the hat. But then she looks at her hands. She feels the numbness in her limbs and the pain that's kind of seeping, not physical pain, but emotional. And the weight that's settling on her of 3 people she just killed. And I think without even thinking about it, she kind of just jumps in the middle of Kagax and Sarisa, kind of puts her arms in front of Sarisa and Triss, and she looks up at Kagax, tears streaming down her face, and she's like, "You can't kill her. You can't. Don't do it, please, Kagax."
Kagax looks to Anthena, seeing that look in her face. He looks to Sarisa, seeing that look in her face. And I put both of my eyes towards Triss. I walk around behind Triss's chair. I put my hands on her shoulders very, very firmly.
She closes her eyes.
I reach down and I wrap my hands around the rope and untie her. I know it's a magical rope, but I untied it.
I mean,
The rope
Every thing that needs to be untied.
The rope has to help you just a little bit because it did automatically tie itself extremely tight, so it loosens up a little bit once you untie it.
I wasn't going to take away the rope's agency, okay?
It's a sentient rope.
yeah.
A sentient rope. It has a name, by the way. It's Coilette.
Yeah.
Well, I untie Coilette.
Thank you.
Triss still has her eyes kind of squeezed shut tight. She really thought she was probably dead there.
And I give the back of her chair a nudge with my knee.
She kind of dares to open her good eye and just sees Sarisa there. And then her eye kind of darts to Anthena because you're now kind of behind her. So she can't really see you.
Yeah. Then open the door for her and let her go. I'm saying this to Sarisa or Anthena or Leah or whoever.
Yeah.
Sarisa, with wobbly legs, walks over to the door and turns around and looks at Triss.
Her hands are still shaking. And she stands up, and her legs are also pretty weak. And she kind of wobbles her way to the door. She's still kind of like not sure if you're just tricking her. But she tentatively walks towards the door. Do you do anything, Sarisa?
Sarisa will take her hand actually and look up at her because I'm assuming she's taller than Sarisa. Let's be real.
She is, yeah.
Okay. And she, although looks shaken up, she's smiling up at Triss with this very genuine smile. And she'll say, "Fortune has smiled upon you this night. And you, newly converted," she puts a little emphasis on that, "will probably find some safe haven at the church. I would imagine."
Her mouth is like too dry to speak, but she nods shakily.
Good. So then, that should be your destination. May Fortuna smile upon you. And I pray for good fortune for you. And she lets go of her hand and opens the door.
She takes a couple steps to the door, and then she kind of pauses for a second, and she turns back around for just a second, and she looks at you, Anthena. And she really only just kind of glances at you just for a moment. But you see in her eyes genuine remorse as she just kind of lingers her gaze on you for a second. And then...
Can I message her really quick?
Well, she looks away, but you can. She looks away almost as if it's a little hard to look at you.
Once she looks away, I'll message her. And I'll be like... I was given a second chance. And I made it out. So don't waste yours. Okay?
All you get back from the message is sort of like this vague thought. She's not really aware of how message works, so you just kind of get a thought beam to you that just is, I won't.
Okay.
And then she wakes up the troll, and you all die to the troll. No!
He's back.
I totally forgot about that fella. Whoops.
I kind of
I didn't.
to be honest. But it's alright. That's not good. I was just making a joke.
And everybody dies. The end. The TPK you really wanted.
No, I
No
forgot
more,
about the troll.
no more
I got too sucked into character. I forgot about the troll.
Everybody forgets about the trolls when they're RPing.
That's my favorite. I love when I can RP so hard that I don't metagame anymore and I just completely forget about things.
Yeah, real.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are already over time, so we can call the session here, and we will pick back up again with where we go from there next time.
Can I make a singular note,
Sure.
if possible?
Yeah, of course.
I do know that Leah has some stuff she wants to say to Anthena, so when we come back, if we don't like time skip, that would be great.
Well,
That'd be great.
I imagine you guys are going to be needing to probably retreat from here very quickly. You do have a ticking time bomb of a troll that might wake up at any moment.
Of course.
So probably beat feet, but you probably also
only
need
have
a long
14 hit
rest,
points.
so you have
I
some
only
time
have
to.
14 hit points.
So if you guys retreat back to your safe house, you can debrief there.
Okay.
Next time.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
my idea for what you would probably do next time, but obviously you guys can decide to just go break into the bank right now if you want.
No, Leah's gonna take one of the bodies with her. Actually,
Oh my god.
she was gonna offer to have Anthony to help her, but I was like,
Oh
I
my
didn't have to
god.
write.
So you're just gonna
It's fine.
carry a corpse through the streets.
Yeah, sure.
Won't
Oh
raise
my
any
God.
questions, I'm sure.
She's like, Anthony, this will be great practice for you.
Ah!
But yeah, we will leave it here for tonight, since we're already past 3 hours.
Oops. We
It's a
RP'd too
decent-
hard.
It's a decent spot.
Are being too.
We always go over time. I don't like to cut
It's-
things off right at the hard limit, so I like to just let the scene naturally end, and I think that was a good ending.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's so good. It's just thunder so loud. Oh, it's kind of scary.
I mean, on our end,
It's
I
so-
can't hear it at least, but imagine maybe Anthena's a little different.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't been hearing this actually, because like it's been really fucking loud.
No?
That's
Haven't
crazy.
heard it.
All right, so let's head back over here, and let's get our cozier music on. All right. So, off the top of our heads, does anything interfere with next week, same time?
Well,
Works with
I'm
me.
good for next week, yep.
Good to go.
Good.
That should be good.
All right. Well, we'll pencil ourselves in for a yes, and if anything changes, please do let me know. And
Okay.
otherwise, we will have another session next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. So, unless anybody has anything else to add, we can wrap up here.
For the session.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Thank you
It
for the
was- it's a
session.
good
Yes,
session.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, boss. It was killer.
Heh.
It's been a long time coming on the fallout of that, so it's good to see it all play out. So we will wrap up here for tonight, and we will call it a night. So thank you for watching, chat, and thanks players for playing. Always good to have a good time with you guys. These sessions are always really good. Always an enjoyable D&D experience. So if you're in the mood for more D&D experience, we'll be back next week, so you can pick up again. We do also have a VOD channel for the unfamiliar, where you can go and watch the VODs. So if you missed anything, you want to go back and get caught up on old sessions, please do feel free to go do so there. Not just Gaunt Gold, there's other campaigns there too, so please do check it out. Other than that, we'll wrap up here for tonight. In terms of streams this week, I'm not exactly sure what day. Probably something Thursday. We'll try to do the end of Midnight Walk, because that was really good. I think we're about halfway, so we should be able to wrap it up with one more stream. So yeah, we'll go hang out with Pop Boy again. We'll bully him.
I don't know if I want to ask. I don't know if I want to ask what you mean by that.
He's a little guy. He's a little goblin.
Cool.
We light him on fire. We throw him around, make him go do stuff.
Yeah,
Just how the game
yeah,
works.
Right.
yeah, of course, yeah.
He likes being
Yeah.
lit on fire. It's what he's
Okay.
made for.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
He's a little torch.
Lil Goblin is gonna be my SoundCloud rapper name. Watch out for that, guys.
Well, Goblin.
Be entirely
I'm ready.
honest,
Goblin.
What's your
It's-
first drop?
it is very possible that's already taken.
I'm certain it is. But if it's not, like fantasy based like rap songs by an artist named Lil Goblin, that would go so hard.
But yeah, we will have some sort of stream this week. Probably Midnight Walk, maybe something else. Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, look to the Twitter for the announcements because I'm not entirely sure about my availability this week. But anyways, that's all for tonight. Thank you for watching, and let's go watch somebody else, shall we? Who do we got? Who do we got? Let's go send you to... let's send you to Ulysses, because he's trying to stream until he hits 1K, so let's go there. For those unaware, Ulysses is a friend. I've been on his stream. We talked a lot about character writing. We did a whole TED talk about about writing characters, specifically for TTRPGs too. Though we very much broached into other topics about character writing as well. So if you like reading and writing, he is very much about that. In fact, he often writes, works on his book on stream. So go and say hello, and go be polite, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care, and have a good night.